What's up, followers? Michelle here, and in this video I'm going to be exploring how to really support someone that's suicidal. Now, you might ask, well, who are you, and what do you know, and why should I listen to your advice? Well, I'm Michelle Therese, I'm an author, I'm a mental health campaigner, but more importantly, I'm somebody that has survived. I've survived serious suicide attempts, I've survived being locked up as a 12-year-old child and subjected to sexual, mental, physical and emotional abuse for years. And even then, when I got out, I was, very little support. I was, demonised by our services, and really, it was awful. I've had attacks, I've been stabbed, I've been shot at. I'm still here and I want to help other people. So that's why I do this. I have supported my own father through suicidal episodes. I've also supported various other people. I have lost people to suicide because it unfortunately is a reality. But I've made a lot of self-help videos and encouragement videos, and a lot of people have said to me that they're helpful and inspiring. So I genuinely hope that this video does help your loved one and yourself as well. And I've also studied psychology at the Open University. So yeah, I think the first bit of advice I'm going to say is to be 100% genuine. Be yourself. Don't suddenly pretend to be someone you're not because of the situation. Don't try and put on a different kind of personality or, push yourself to be someone that you're not, because in the time of such vulnerability and sadness, people need authenticity and honesty, and just be yourself, but be a good listener, really say, I'm here for you, I listened, I understand, and I can really tell you're hurting, I can really hear it, how much you're suffering right now. Stuff like that does help because it makes that person feel valued. It makes that person feel, well, oh, I've got someone that listens, instead of just telling me to get on with it. The mental health system in this country is fucking horrendous, and, I'm sorry that, people are coming to videos like this to get support, but it is evil, the system in this country. It's on money and it's a class system, and it's, the crisis team don't do much, and it's abysmal. It really is abysmal, and I'm so sorry, and I'm on your side, and I care about you, whoever you are. I don't know you personally, but I definitely care about your struggle, and I really hope that your loved one or relative gets through this, and I hope, I've got a good feeling that they will. It's tempting to say stuff like, don't kill yourself, it's selfish, or you better not do it, because it'll ruin my life and stuff like that. But these things are actually really harmful to say to somebody really struggling. I mean, I know that I've never said that to my dad. My dad really does struggle with suicidal thoughts. He's ex-army. He's got PTSD. He does get carers coming in, but he pays a lot of money for it, unfortunately. And he's really struggled. I've seen him at his low. I've seen him really low. I've seen him when he's not washed and he's had a, beard, and he's not eating much and stuff. But I never judge him on that. Never. I say, you know what? I still love you with all my heart the same. It doesn't matter to me whether I'm having a good day or a bad day. I love you, and I'm always here for you. And stuff like that helps because he tells me, you know what? That's lovely to hear. It's not about the huge things. It's about being authentic and caring, because you can't pretend to care. You need to genuinely care from there. It's going back to that, telling people to not kill themselves. It's an unpopular opinion, but I don't, for me personally, if somebody said to me, oh, well, you better not do it, it's like an accusation. It's like, you better not. It's like accusing somebody, and it's like, well, I can't help the way I feel. You know, I'm struggling. And saying, oh, well, you should think about your kids, or, oh, well, you should think about money, or, oh, well, you should think about your job, or, you know, some people come out with such, you know, lines like, oh, well, why are you suicidal? You've got money, or, you know, why are you suicidal? You've got a wife, or you've got children, or you've got a good job, or you're famous, or, you know, you've got a degree, or whatever. Because people, they don't necessarily see the bigger picture, you know, it's a hidden illness, you know. You can't see somebody being suicidal. You know, you might have walked past somebody in the street that's suicidal today. Most likely you have, you know, because it's something that you can't see, you know, and humans don't always react well to that. They're like, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with you. You know, some people come at people like that. I've seen it, I've witnessed it, you know. I mean, once when I was in A&E, I was in A&E for suicidal thoughts. I mean, don't get me started, it's a shit system, and I was sent home. But, you know, the point is I was in A&E and I was trying to speak to another patient in there, and they were kind of asking me what I was in for. And I basically told them, I said, I'm not feeling too great mentally and the stuff. And they started saying, well, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I feel suicidal. So, yeah, people don't always see it. Just be there for them. Be there for them all the time, and go out your way maybe a bit more. You know, send that extra text, you know, with flowers or whatever they like, you know, saying, you know what, you're not forgotten and I'm here for you, you know, and I can't wait for us to do this plan or whatever. But I'll say this, you know, don't ever rush somebody out of suicidal thoughts. You know, don't say, well, oh God, you've been, you know, are you ever going to get better? You've been feeling like this for 3 months, or, you know, you're feeling like this for 6 months, you know. It's a long haul sometimes. You know, suicidal thoughts could last years, you know, and if you're not a true friend to somebody, you know, don't just pretend to be that person and then just drop them, because that is fucking damaging, you know. I've had that done to me. I've somebody said to me, you know what, I'm your genuine friend, and then when I was feeling low and when I was struggling, I said, oh, I can't cope with that, bye. And that was that. Never spoke to them again. And I wouldn't want to now, knowing that they're like that. But you need to go into this knowing that, you know, this is this person. You need, you know, and it's sometimes it does take years, but that's okay, you know, because there's no time frame for recovery. You know, little steps. You know, you could say stuff like, have you eaten today? If not, do you want me to cook you a meal? Tiny little things like that, you know, not like, you know what, wow, I'm looking forward to going on holiday, or, you know what, I'm looking forward to, you know, going down south to London or whatever like that. Because when somebody's going through that, absolutely, you know, it is a huge thing just to eat sometimes. I mean, it is a huge thing for people just to get a wash sometimes. So congratulate them on that, you know. Excuse me, say, you know what, I know how much you've been struggling recently, and I just want to say that you're a fucking fighter. You know, you've been getting up, you've been dressing, you know what I mean? You've been eating, you've been, you know, and I just want to say that it's not going to notice, you know what I mean? It's really, I think you're such a fighter, and I think you're so strong, and it's incredible. Stuff like that really does, that helps, you know. Someone said that to me, and I'll never forget it, because I thought the girl was cute who said that. So yeah, she said it. She says, "Oh, you know, you're a fighter and you're suicidal, but you know you're not giving in." And those words do resonate. You know, I would really avoid saying, you know, you need to. Okay, there's a fine line between being a therapist for somebody and being caring. I wouldn't start going into the reasons why somebody's suicidal. Like, seriously. I mean, you can briefly go over it. I don't know. Such as if it's a housing problem. You know, there's always more than just the surface level to someone's suicidal ideation. A lot of the time it's built up over years and years. It's, you know, unresolved issues. Sometimes it's just a sometimes it's just an acute problem, but most of the time it's chronic. You know, it's built up. I would avoid being someone's therapist if you've not got the right qualifications. And even then, even if you are qualified, somebody that's your friend and a loved one, being a therapist towards them is not very helpful due to boundaries. It wouldn't work. And what I mean by being a therapist is not sitting down next to somebody and talking for hours about problems and ways to solve them, like, you know, childhood abuse, you know, for example, or stuff like that. It's not necessarily helpful, you know. And I say this because there's a reason why people are therapists. You know, there's a reason why people do degrees and go into the field of, you know, counselling. It's because there's safe ways to do it and there's unsafe ways to do it. You know, you might go and visit your friend or loved one and talk about all this abuse and stuff and think, oh, you know, that helps them. And then they struggle processing what they've discussed, and, you know, that could make them worse. And that is a real possibility, and that's a real thing. So I do reiterate, if you're not, I mean, I'm going to say, even if you are qualified as a therapist, don't be for your friend or loved one. Do encourage them to seek help. I know how difficult it is, you know, and if you possibly could even maybe suggest giving money for them to go private. I know that's not a great suggestion, but the waiting list is long. I mean, I've put a big list in the description of links to services. I mean, I don't know, I've not looked at all the, you know, prices and all of them. I think some of them are cost, some of them are free. Don't give up on your loved one. Don't give up on your friend. You know, it's not their fault that they're suicidal. It's an illness. You know, it's not. I did this. You know, when I was struggling, I did all that to my arms. I mean, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's. Yeah, I did all that. I mean, I wear it with pride now because I survived it, but don't give up. You know, people need people, you know, and it will show the kind of person you are if you can stick by somebody through the lowest. I mean, I've got another saying, you know, if you can't stick by someone in the lowest, they don't deserve you at the highest. That's true. If you drop someone when they look low, why the hell should they have you when they're high? You know, exactly. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. I mean, if you were sat crying, struggling with suicidal thoughts, would you want someone to stick by you until, well, forever, really? You know, if that's the case, do it to others. Don't be just a one-sided person. You know, if somebody's been crying on the last phone call and saying that they're depressed and struggling, don't just ignore the phone. Pick it up. You know, it's okay. It is okay to say, you know what, I can talk for 20, 30 minutes, but, you know, it's a bit much for me. It's okay to set boundaries. You know, it's perfectly okay, you know, to say, you know, I don't want to talk every day, but, you know, maybe every other day or something like that. You know, I've said that to my best friend, you know. She used to ring me sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. And I said, look, Trish, you know, it's a bit much, so can you just ring me every other day? And, you know, it's okay to set boundaries. But it's not okay to drop somebody completely because they're suicidal. That's cruel. You know, little things like just spending time together. You know, spending time with that person, going and visiting them, making an effort to care for them. You know, if they're struggling to eat, take them microwave meals, take them, you know, easy things to eat. If they're struggling to, you know, clean up the house, maybe help them out. I mean, it's all about caring for people. But ultimately, it does take time to get out of suicidal thoughts. But with the right love and support, it is possible. You know, obviously, do direct them to the GP as well. That's obviously obvious, but, you know, services are stretched. They might go on medication and stuff. I don't know much about GPs. But yeah, I'm going to end this video now. I hope that it's been helpful, and put some comments in the description with what you think. Thank you. It's been Michelle Therese. Never ever give up. Things do get better. Until next time, adios.